We have also some personal barriers, okay? For example, we have variable skills in communicating effectively. شمعناه? Some people are simply better communicators than others, okay? And معناها this normal. We have also another variation in how information is interpreted, okay? So also to interpret some statements or to interpret information may be also varied from person to person. We have also variation in trustworthiness and credibility. So when we say here trustworthy here بالعربي النجاعة المعلومة اللي وصلتك and credibility المصداقية. So as we see here also we have variation and this for these adjectives. Oversized egos. When we say oversized egos, لهنا the manager, for example, tune out workers' idea caused by this oversized egos. معناها يرى النفس أعلى من أي شيء آخر. Okay, so you have the best idea. You don't give the possibility to others to express their and to present their ideas. Okay, so as we see here, we have also another type of barriers called as, yes, Fatima, good, called as personal barriers. Okay, clear? So on the semantic barriers and the personal barriers, we continue now. For personal barriers, we can also find faulty listening skills. Okay, so as we see here, faulty listening skills. So also depend in the person. From person to person, we can find the difference to understand and to listen. The ability to listen the information. We have also tendency to judge others' messages. Some persons also have this behavior, this character, and usually have tendency to judge other messages. Inability to listen and understand at the same time. Okay, so listen, take notes and understand at the same time. Of course, also this differs from person to person. We have also stereotypes and prejudices. This is means also as كما نقولوا نحن in advance you have an idea about this information or about this person before listening, before interpreting. So is also called as a barrier. Why? Because when you must interpret the right information, this behavior can make a mistake. Okay, can push you do not interpret good your information because you make some prejudices before passing to interpret the new information. Good. This حكم مسبق. Yes. Good. So as we see here, these different examples of personal barriers. We continue now. Non-verbal communication. As we see here, Anna number 2, another way to communicate is called as non-verbal communication. So we try in this slide to answer this question. How? Yes, this body language, yes. How unwritten and unspoken messages may mislead. And when we say may mislead, so you cannot interpret or receive the right message, okay, or the right information by the nonverbal communication. So here's the definition. Nonverbal communication consists of messages sent outside of the written and the spoken word. Okay, so by another way, okay, by another behavior, you communicate. For example, expressed like said now Fatima, expressed through interpersonal space, by some eye contact, okay, by facial expressions, and be careful in these facial expressions, okay, on your workplace, by body movements, by some gestures, and by touch. This different manners to communicate non-verbally. Okay, so as we see here, this different, but be careful for the non-verbal communication. We continue now. Here we have the possibility to work better. How we can toward better the non-verbal communication skills. Okay, how we can improve the non-verbal communication skills. So take care about some non-verbal communication skills. What can I do? What you don't do. Okay, so as we see here, maintain eye contact. Maintain eye contact. Don't look away from the speaker. So here, take care about this behavior. Number 2, lean towards the speaker, not turn away from the speaker. Okay? Speak at a moderate rate. ديما نحن بالمثل العربي شد العصام الوسط. Not speak quickly or slowly. Okay? So when we want to transfer your idea, so here you must speak at a moderate rate. Speak in a quiet, reassuring tone. Not to speak in an unpleasant tone. Okay? And in this case, we can أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله said that on non-verbal communication, we must be careful about some reactions or about some behaviors. Smile and show animation is good to do this when we want to transfer your message or your information. Not yawn excessively. When you want to speak, for example, I give you an example, ما تحلش فمك برشا كثير معناه. Okay, so كن لبق، أنت تتكلم بلباقة. Okay, occasionally nod head in agreement. Not close your eyes is not good to do this. Be aware for this facial expression. Be aware for your facial expressions. So not lick lips. You know what means lick lips? Okay? شفاه. When somebody you have مثلا discussion with your different members, so be careful in this أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله in this behavior. bite nails لهنا معناه يبدأ يعمل هكا في الأظافر متاعه. and not play with your hair. So as we see here, we have some كما نقولوا نحن behaviors to improve the non-verbal communication. Yes, this قضم الأظافر. Yes, Amal. So be careful here when you have discussion or conversation or some message to transfer. So be careful face to face your supervisor or face to face your co-worker or the other members. Don't do this, please. So we continue now. Studies show that we have some communication differences between men and women. Why? We try to explain this through this slide. So, as we see here, language characteristics differs from men to women. Okay? Look here. For men, greater use of I statements. For example, I did this, I would like this, I want this, I explain this, okay? So, more likely to boast about their achievements. This for men, in general. Women, greater use of we. So, women try to stick in as a group, not as individual, okay? So, we did this, we did that, we want to do this, we wanted to achieve our goal, we try to complete this tasks. So, this statement usually used by women. Less likely to boast about their achievements. This number one. Number two, about confidence. For men, less likely to indicate that they are uncertain about some issues. Okay? When they speak, that they are sure. Okay? No uncertainty. For women, they haven't a problem. Okay? They haven't a problem to inform others about that we have the possibility of uncertainty about some issues. Okay? For example, indicate a lack of certainty about an issue. As we see here, asking the questions. We know this behavior. Less likely to ask questions. This for men. For example, asking for directions. Women don't find the problem to ask questions to the purpose to explain more, to get more information, okay? Trying to have more information, okay? To explain more, okay? So as we see, more likely to ask questions. Of course, like Fatima. In the case on conversation rituals. So, when we have conversation rituals, okay, Fatima. So, for men, avoid making apologies. Because, no, wallah la, no. I prefer in general. Who ask questions, I know in advance that this student or this member wants directly to have more information about this topic. Okay? So to understand more. So he's interested by this topic or this subject. This maruf. So as we see here, men don't make apology because it puts them in a one down position. This their viewpoint. But when we look on the women, more frequently say, I'm sorry. They haven't a problem when they have this feeling to say, I'm sorry. Why not? Okay? Giving feedback. More direct and blunt. Okay? More blunt معناها صريح. Direct and blunt. But women also are more tactful, okay, and tend to temper criticism with praise. Okay? So here you know the tactic of women. When she wants something, she can do it, but with a praise, without be more direct or more blunt. Giving compliments. No problem for men when if you must give compliments to your members, he gives it. But for women usually pay more compliments than men do. And here, when men are indirect, when it comes to admitting fault, or when they don't know something, in this case, men become indirect. But when women become indirect, when telling others what to do. Look here, the difference between men, some differences, of course, between men and women. And you remember that that we said that studies show that women are better communicators than men. Okay, so they have the ability to make, in some cases, some tactics, okay, to transfer the message or to transfer the information. Which better, men or women؟ راح أقولها لك بالعربي. لا نستطيع أن نعيش بدون رجل ولا نستطيع أن نعيش بدون امرأة. Okay? So each other must accept, yes. Okay? So as we see here, as men have, in this case for communication, women have the ability, okay, to anticipate this, the intelligence of women when they communicate. Looking in the expression facials of the different students, for example, there she can anticipate the reaction or the level of with which the message is translated or is transferred. Okay, so women have this ability, this skills to anticipate and to find the channel to transfer, the right channel to transfer the message or the information. Clear? I continue. Have you a question? Hiya, Amal, Amani, Mashal, Fatima. Have you a question? I continue? Okay, clear. So we continue. As we see here, some example. There is evidence also that women are superior at multitasking. Look here. For example, listening and understanding, and better at relationships, which is important to develop teams. Okay? Which is important to develop teams. So as we see here, this ability helps women in their workplace, and especially when they want to develop some teams. Okay? Women also are more willing to share information. Through the last slide, we can deduce this these two remarks. So we can now continue. What now? The formal communication channels. Formal communication channels. So as we see here, when we say formal communication channels, means follow the chain of command and are recognized as official. So we follow the hierarchy or the structure of the organization from up to down. And we'll explain more. In this case, we have three types of formal communication channels. Number one, as vertical channel, means from up to down, upward and downward. So when we look here from your top manager to, for example, middle managers, level 1 to level 2. messages up and down the hierarchy within the organization. So we use the vertical one when, for example, manager communicates with his subordinates. This type number 1. Formal channel called as horizontal, meaning laterally or sideways. So we have the same level, for example, between the different directors, between the different functional managers, between the different presidents. So as we see here, within and between work units. This horizontal at the same level. And we have the number 3, external channel, meaning from inside to outside. As we see here, flows between people inside and outside the organization. So we can memorize now that we have 3 types of formal channels. Clear, Lebnet? I continue. Okay. Question. Okay, Fatima. Good. Jimmy shares information with his fellow task force. Look here. Shares with his fellow task forces members about their project. Okay? Yes. So Jeremy is communicating as externally, downward and upward, called as vertical channel. Not vertical channel because between the same level. So he is horizontally. So as we see here, horizontally communication channel. This the right answer. Why? Because between the task force members. Clear? I continue. The same level. Yes, Amal. With the same level. Good. Now, informal communication channels. Informal communication channels. So, we have presented and explained the formal. Number 2, now, informal communication channels. As informal communication channels are channels developed outside. Look here, outside the formal structure and do not follow the chain of command. Okay, so other way to communicate. In this case, we have 2 types of informal channels, which are, number 1, grapevine. What's the meaning of a grapevine? You know this word or no? You have idea about this word or no? When we say grapevine. يا البنات ترى خلينا نشوف شو كتب عنب no informal channel Fatima يا Fatima informal channel informal way to communicate. Here when we say grapevine, look here, an official communication system of the informal organization. Okay? الجريبفاين معناها stand. Yes. So grapevine نجم تكون sometimes the information is correct, is right, and sometimes no. So we anticipate تخرج كما الإشاعات. Okay? خروج الخبر قبل خروجه from the official structure. Okay? So we come like إشاعات. So research shows that the grapevine is faster. Look here. This is the problem. Than formal channels, and is used by employees when they are insecure. They have this feeling, okay? Threatened or faced with organizational change. So when we have this different problems, so we can find this informal communication channels. معناها ينجم تخرج إشاعات، okay؟ قبل خروج the right message or the right information. We have also number 2 as informal communication channel. Management by wandering around. Look here, around. You make discussion, okay? You are here around some topic, okay? So here, this term is used to describe what a manager is literally wandering around his organization and talking with people across all lines of authority. As we see here, is benefit. This informal channel to explain more, to discuss more, to transfer more the message. The MBAA is the management by wandering around. Helps to reduce the problem of distortion. Okay? معناها كما نقولوا نحن توصل information مخطئة. So to reduce the problem of distortion and occur with formal communication following up hierarchy. As we see this, so MBAA can help the organization. Yes, yes, yes. Good أمل يخفف من نوع من هذا الضغط في transfer of information and message. So we summarize now أمل. We have formal channels like vertical or horizontal or external. Okay? We have now informal communication channels like 2 types. In generally we explain here. It's grapevine with management by wandering around. Okay? Clear. So we can memorize this. Okay? So I continue. Have you questions? I continue. Clear, I think. Yes. Now, communication in the information age. And for this slide, we try to answer this question, which is presented in the first slide. How do contemporary managers use information technology to communicate more effectively? So, how, as a manager, we can use the technology, the information technology, to communicate more effectively. As we see here, technology helps us to make multi-communicating. Represents the use of technology to participate in several interactions at the same time. Look the benefit of technology. Here, the advantage of technology. Yes, like now. And we will see for digital communication. See, this is the example of FEU. We use the digital, the technology information to share information, to make lecture for different branches or for different students in different spaces and places. Okay? As we see here, the use of computers and information technology has dramatically, of course, affected the workplace. Okay? So we continue now. Here is to you to reverse this the different norms, okay, of millennial or called as internet generation لهنا for this information technology. Yes, workshop for workshop. So this different norm, like for example freedom, حرية التعبير و. I continue for the technology. We have digital communication and the new workplace, like SEU. This new كما نقولوا نحن university focuses on what? On digital communication, okay? Specific to a type of people or students. For example, video conferencing uses video and audio links along with computers to enable people in different locations or different branches to see, hear, and talk with each other. Like now, okay? Take in your, when we say digital communication, you can explain this by SEU, the real example. Telepresence technology also, this is the high definition of video conference system that simulates face-to-face meeting within users. Okay? So as we see here, this is the different, like a blackboard, it's the example of blackboard, okay? Of course, digital communication has some advantages, okay, for the organization. And we know, yes, we know that the most important for the organization to continue on the market. How organization can do it? Of course, the first variable to manage is to reduce cost. So by digital communication called as also mean to, okay, a way to or a solution to reduce capital costs. Number one, possibility to increase flexibility and autonomy for workers. It's good also. As we see here, the flexibility and the autonomy of workers. Not but all students must be here to explain this chapter or this slide. Each student now is at home and he has the possibility to attend this lecture. Okay? So, number three, provides a competitive advantage when we recruit. It's also a good way. Increase job satisfaction, of course, the context of the work. Improve the conditions of the work. Increase productivity. Okay, as in the term of time, as. And also the ability to tap into non-traditional workers, like, for example, الهوم band. Okay, for example, المعاقين. ينجموا also by this technology, by digital communication, we can also recruit another workers called as non-traditional workers, okay? And they have also the ability to help organization by their skills, by their experience, without any contrast, okay? Like work at home, yes, like work at home, good, Aman, good. Okay, clear? So, have you questions before? I think is, okay, so we continue. Of course, yes, so of course, digital age has also some inconvenience and disadvantages. For example, security. And here, take care, a system of safeguards for protecting information technology against disaster, system failures, and unauthorized access that result in damage or loss. So be this problem of security. Okay, so be careful here. Problem also of identity theft. What means identity theft? Means thieves hijack your name or your identity to use it by other persons. So here, be careful when using the digital age. Okay? Yes, yes. So when we use the digital age, be careful, please. And I give you some كما نقولوا نحن solutions or some advices to use. For example, I will finish by this slide, to protect against security and the privacy breaches on the internet. You have here, okay? Yes, yes. For example, you can also, I give you some solutions here, some advices. Pick strong passwords as a solution. For example, use a mix of letters, symbols, and numbers following the guidelines for okay? So you have here the possibility to choose a good password, okay? By making, by choosing letters, symbols, and numbers. Number one, use different passwords. You can change your password from time to time, okay? For different web services and another, you can change your passwords. Don't reveal sensitive information, okay? No, not even in a private areas of service such as Facebook. Be careful when you use this. Don't share files, okay? ولأن الأكثرية مثلا يوم الامتحانات ويوم الأشياء هذه. So here on services that offer option sharing such as Google and so here you must be careful. Keep data, okay? Avoid file sharing service such as هذوما أنتم الIT مغرومين بهم, okay? And apply the latest security updates, okay? So as we see here, as you are IT, so this your field, so you can find many solutions to, of course, yes, so to كما نقولوا نحن للحد من